Okay, me love, what are we doing today?
Why is it so hard to change?
Well, because change has to start from within, and in order to change, you have to be willing to take that good hard look in the proverbial mirror. You have to be willing to look at all your faults, the things, not the things that the outside world finds fault with you. Those are nothing. You can ignore those like a drop of a hat. We're humans, we know how to do that. It's the things about you that you dislike are the difficult ones. Those are the things we don't like to face. The world says we have BO, we need to take a shower more often. We either flip the world off or we take a shower more often. But if we look like I haven't accomplished what I wanted to at this stage of life, that's a much bigger failure. That's a much bigger thing to look at and say, okay, how did this happen and what do I have to change about myself to accomplish that? And what are those long steps to go through it? Because it's not like a light switch. It's not like you can bust open a computer program and change some lines of code, and click run. It doesn't work that way. Humans are difficult to change. You have external inputs, you have relationships to manage, you have children to deal with, a boss, and all these various things. All these various inputs need you to change a little bit to become slightly better at supporting them. And that's a never ending journey through life. It never stops. I mean, it can slow down, it alters, the way it works changes, but it never actually stops. We become better at managing it as we become experienced, but it never stops. And if you've experienced trauma in your life, like most of us have, and you don't deal with that in an effective manner, it builds upon itself, and then you have to go and deal with all the various issues that are caused by you not dealing with your trauma properly, because now you've got a view of the world that isn't quite right. You've got this fear hanging over your head that interprets inputs that are just a little off. And you can, during the most normal times, it's perfectly fine. But in times of stress, that little bit makes a huge difference. And so realizing that, comprehending that, figuring out, okay, which part of my personality formula do I have to work on to actually make an effective change to that? That's all very complicated and hard. And then following through with that. It's amazing anybody does it at all. It's amazing the world works at all. To turn on the lights, we're essentially advanced monkeys walking around smashing things with a hammer, but yet it somehow works. We're all damaged human beings walking around the earth, trying to change, make ourselves better, help our children grow, help our grandchildren grow, take care of our elderly parents and our elderly grandparents. And yet, we still manage it all. It's a glorious thing, this thing we call the human spirit. But it doesn't mean it's easy. But love makes it a little easier. And that's your daily dose of love.